Hello and welcome back to the Everwind Chronicles. I am Doug, your dungeon master. We're a group of friends and storytellers telling you a story through Dungeons and Dragons. So, the party had returned to the rebel camp after a successful mission followed by hunting down leader Tildwin, the pivotal figure in the country who turned out to be a vampire that had turned Enthras and killed Stoic's entire temple. And after taking vengeance and him making a pretty special connection to the god Chaldron with his fancy new weapon, the party returned to the camp and made connections, like reconnected with Adris and the various teachers, taking a little bit of time to rest or date or whatever have you.
My dating simulator is almost complete.
They went to bed that night shortly after Sarek's apparent brother, that he had no memory of, showed up. Got extremely angry at Sarek's choice to forsake what he perceived to be them, and stormed off into the night and wasn't able to be found and is gone as far as anybody knows. The party decided to just go back to sleep, or go to sleep, and be woken up in the middle of the night as a rebel stumbled into their tent full of arrows. They come outside from their little cove, which was shielding them from a bit of the sound, but emerged out into chaos. The rebel camp is under attack. There is chaos and fire everywhere. They watched as some of their teachers engaged, surrounded in various against large numbers or magical creatures. They watched as Adris and Drael took on an ancient dragon that had shown up. And then they watched Alanya apparently scare it off.
With words.
After a short conversation in Draconic that they didn't understand most of. They then help escorting a group that had been trying to protect a train of people from Lenora's healing tents. People with various injuries and afflictions, and they were trying to get them out. They were not very well defended, and so the party agreed to help them, which included the almost unconscious, mumbling form of Resham. So as they moved forward, they ended up getting attacked and having to deal with a monarch, a woman who had infiltrated the rebellion earlier. They had saw and was obviously one of the traitors, if not the traitor. And after a very, very pain-inflicting fight, they continued on, trying to make their way to escape, to help the injured and weak to escape. They then came across a clearing where they saw on the ridge a rebel, the silhouette of a rebel against a wall of flame behind. Go to attack down at something and get run through, the blade emerging from his back. And as we pick things back up, you see the silhouetted form as the body slides off the sword and down into the shadow. You see, kind of side to you, the slowly rising form of an armored female figure who rises up slowly, and you see the gleam of a ruby on her chest. And you see her turn and look at your group and start taking some steps forward. As she steps toward you, Asura, your armor, your cloak suddenly feel a little bit heavier. Zenoa, your scythe goes warm. Sarek, you feel a shift. You don't even know how you know it, but in your body. But your amulet is not working at the moment.
The periapt.
Mm-hmm. Stoic, you watch as the sword, the glowing sword in your hand, from the tip down to the hilt, you watch the golden light go away. And Inthris, you hear Inthris beside you whisper, That's why you can't scry on a anti-magic.
How far away is she from us?
At this point, she stops about 25 feet out and like sets her feet and like holds her sword out to the side, like kind of straight armed.
Where are we and where are the rest of
people.
the villagers? Yeah.
So you stopped them like a little bit behind you to kind of give you room to fight as you guys stepped forward. They're not too far behind.
Are they out of view?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to find out. So if we run.
Can I put? I don't know if it'll even work because it's technically magic. I'm gonna put my hand on my tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Valid.
Nothing. She sets herself, and then you see as she is clearly taking you guys in, measuring you up. You see her lock onto you, and she says. You see her like whip the sword up to point at you, and instead of a whooshing sound, you hear the sound of whispers. As she locks onto you and says, "You. I should have known criminals would return to their ways."
We're not the criminals here. And you let me go of your own accord.
Self-delusion is not going to save you. Where is the White Death?
I don't know.
Do not lie to me, Orc. You became the luckiest man alive the day you saw my mercy. You will not see it again.
The White Death was here. But I have no idea where he is. All we're trying to do is protect the injured.
You will be able to protect no one. Unless I get what I want.
Then go find him. Because we will be no aid to that.
All this time, Sarek is backing up, trying to find outside of the anti-magic field because his veins are starting to turn like a deep blue. Yeah.
Can
so
I-
he's trying to find a way, like, trying to get out of
You
it.
step back about 10 feet
Yeah.
and feel it.
Can I clock that radius? Did you say 25 feet? 30
Make a perception check.
Okay. Natural 20.
Oh, yes, queen.
It's about 30 feet.
Okay.
30 feet anti-magic.
You see him take a step. You see him backing up. Once he crosses the 30 feet, you see him take a breath.
Okay.
But make an insight check for me.
Another natural 20. 29.
You don't have any idea what's going on with why he backed up like that, or the veins that you noticed starting to appear around his neck. But there's something else that's very strange about the way he's reacting to this situation, and you're not sure what it is.
Hey, sir, I thought you had told us about it. I thought you had told us about it a little.
I thought I did mention the
Yeah.
disease, so you might.
Or maybe it was just you. I'm trying to remember. It's fine.
I'm gonna take a step forward towards her.
You see her like, she's her face completely covered in the helm. You just see it turn to lock onto you.
You are looking for someone, and so am I. Where is Valen?
You see her just stare at you in silence for like a moment that just seems to stretch into eternity. And she turns her head, and although it's through a helm, you feel like you swear she's saying her teeth are clenched as she says, "I don't know."
I cast read thoughts.
Nothing.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Okay, I would know that. Yeah, I would back up towards him and cast it. Let me make sure let me see my radius. Hold on.
Can you cast it? Would you be able to read her inside her own anti-magic level?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's within 60
Can't
feet.
scry on her.
Yeah.
That's
I think you would know, like,
It would work.
especially with Enthras's comment and from your attempted efforts in the past, that it would.
Okay.
But I heard her go, I don't know.
Mhm.
You don't know where he is, or you don't know what's going on.
I don't know where he is.
Where did you last see him?
It was over a month ago. I thought he would come back to you. You're supposed to be friends.
Why did you take him?
That's between me and him.
What's between you and him?
You watch your tongue.
I will watch nothing.
Then I will remove it.
Try.
She takes a step forward.
And I'm just gonna bear down. I bear down and hands on my weapons. I'm not drawing anything, but flash of fire in her eyes. But you can tell
Which
she is
nothing happens.
sort of trembling, but she's locked in for a second.
We can't see her face, right? It's totally.
Right.
Okay.
Why?
I was just gonna try to do insight on her, but it's
Well, you
fine.
can from her voice and demeanor.
Okay, sure.
Do an insight check.
That's terrible. 12.
Okay. She is obviously very intense emotion at the moment, but you don't really know much about that besides that.
I'm petrified as shit. I'm trying to find whatever creates this anti-magic on her. Can I
You can roll a
discern?
perception check, yeah.
My bed's the big ruby.
That is going to be a 23.
Okay. I mean, you see she's got the sword, which is clearly not a normal sword. A black sword with a slight curve to it that is not making normal noises as it moves, has that whispering effect. You see the armor that is plate armor, but it is more fitted than a normal plate armor, and she moves as if it's not there. She moves effortlessly. So there's probably something magical about the armor. I'd say the ruby is a little small to be able to judge anything about what it may or may not be from a distance. That's all you see on her. So you would guess that the armor and the sword are magical of some sort, but you don't really know exactly what effects either of them are doing. Or if it's just her. Like if she's casting spells or has other equipment that you don't see, you don't know.
Does she look injured or like she's like does she look worse for wear or
No.
I was kind of hoping like she was a little beat up too, so we were like meeting on a slightly even playing field. Okay.
You would think she freshly hopped off a horse, like she looks good to go.
Yeah, and I look rough. I look real rough.
Essentially, she's in our way from getting the injured people out.
How fast could we move with all those people when we were chugging along before our first fight?
Not super fast. You're trying to move, but it's like stop and start as like soldiers come out and attack, and you have to deal with it. And they're carrying cots and stuff, so it's not full movement speed. I'd say like half movement for what your normal is.
Alright.
You don't know where he is, and we don't know where the white, what's his name?
Death. Wait,
Death.
Death.
Where the white death is. We are just trying to help injured people.
And why should I let you help criminals protect themselves?
Who are you fighting for anymore?
I fight for everyone who chooses good.
Everyone here is choosing good. We are choosing to help the people. Are these people not part of the people?
They chose to separate themselves from the people by rebelling against them. They chose to go against the greater good.
They chose to go against evil. Like your former master, the vampire.
Lies will not help you.
Lies.
Do we have anything? No, we didn't have anything that proved it.
Everything that I have that was proof I gave to the White Death.
To Adris.
Yeah.
I am many things. A child, ignorant, a foreigner. But when it comes to what I have seen, I do not lie. I'm going to turn my eyes to be his eyes.
Which nothing happens.
That man was a vampire. He hurt so many people. Your people.
You don't even see a movement except this slight blur, and suddenly she is in front of you. I want you to make a strength check real quick.
Good luck to me. Strength check. I am not a strong creature. That's a 14.
She is, you see, it even takes your brain, it's so fast, it takes your brain a second to register the shift in firelight or in your eyes as suddenly it's a significant amount of it is blacked out as she is suddenly in front of you, and you feel a gauntleted hand completely cutting off your windpipe as it brings your face to the helm, and you just hear her say, "You will not speak about him."
Am I in arm's reach of her neck, of the red ruby?
Yeah.
Sleight of hand, I want to pull it from her.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Because I basically want to do, and then like I'm trying to protect myself, but
Yeah,
really
what are
only
you trying to do?
I'm trying to just pull it off of her in a way that's like if I can get the kind of situation going.
Ding, girl, ding.
Can't believe it's not 20.
So the sleight of hand.
Like, that's what it would take.
Because I'm trying to do it in a way that's not like it's to obfuscate her being self-aware that
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do.
No, I get it. I'm trying to think of how to resolve this because the sleight of hand will allow you to do it without her noticing you've grabbed it, but to get it off is a different thing. Make a strength check.
Do I get any advantage on?
Because you basically grab it and realize the chain that is holding it it's not like a thin jewelry chain. It's like meant to stay on in combat. So it's going to be some effort to get off.
Does my sleight of hand give me any advantage on being able to?
Not on this, no. You're not going to be able to like get it over her head and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Get this.
It's like a 6.
So you in response to that,
I was really hoping I could do something
You
here.
were great out there.
Thank you.
as you go for the necklace and try to pull, it's like pulling like a thick chain off a statue. It's like no budging, but you see the slightest twitch from her helm as she makes 3 quick slashes into you with the sword.
Oh, I'm going down.
First one is a 15 to hit, which I don't think is
Nope.
going to. So you're able to like get away, wiggle your way out of it. Then a 20.
That hits.
So that is going to be 39 points of slashing damage.
Even if I uncanny dodge, I'm already down. All she hears from me as I'm like literally as I go limp in her arms is Valen, I love you.
And with your insight check, you see her grabbing this necklace has evoked something in her, and she is like, even as Asura goes limp, she goes and takes that third strike onto her.
As an automatic.
Automatic fail, unless it does it.
Yeah, which is an automatic death save. As you see blood reflectant in the firelight splat across the dark ground. What are you guys doing?
While watching this, I've been slowly backing up until I'm more than 30 feet away from her.
I mean, yeah, but she's on you, so she's closer to us now, right? I guess.
Yeah, if she comes closer to me, I back
So
up.
a couple of things that you guys are, as you guys are processing.
Well, I was
this
trying
is
to walk towards
happening-
her a little bit.
I know we've been going slow, but this is actually happening in real time
Yeah.
fairly quickly. But you saw that blur, that instantaneous blur of movement for her to be suddenly on Asura. You see Asura struggling like a child in a vice grip, like fruitlessly against this incredibly powerful person. You see her raging against her for mentioning Tildwin, and then sent over the top as she grabs for the necklace that you can see is the wrong move. As she slashes extra for out of rage, and you're not sure what she's going to do next, if she's going to keep going at her, or what else is going to happen, but it hits you all instantaneously. You don't have magic. You're not going to be able to use magic to heal her. What are you doing?
Then I would run up and swing my sword at her. Like, there's nothing in that situation. There's nothing else I would do. Rage down
What are
with
you
a
doing?
friend.
Well,
Nope.
I'm staying on the perimeter of that 30 feet because that can kill me.
Yep.
No. Yeah, I'm backing up. But are you with me? Like right next to me?
I was
are you
back-
saying anything?
I was backing up, but it happened too fast. I wouldn't have had time to back up. And
We
if I would've-
cannot fight
It
this.
doesn't matter. If I would have seen her go down, because that's what happened, in the situation that you just described, I would do nothing else but go
We
swing
have
at
to
her.
get her out. I don't have a diamond.
We don't have enough time to have that conversation. She sprung in.
You're attacking.
I'm attacking.
I'm going to take the opportunity to rush in and try to grab her. I'm going to struggle through it, but I'm going to take the opportunity to rush in and grab her. And move her away
I don't think
from...
my sword's going to do anything, but in what he just painted, I don't have enough.
Okay.
Like, I get it, but like,
Hey, I've described everything, so let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Do I roll or no?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, because it would still be when you make your death saves.
Is Interest doing anything at all right now?
She would have been watching you guys, like, for your...
Kind of letting us take the
rolled an
lead.
18.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I really thought I had something here.
No, you're good.
Yeah, it's just... That is a precious item to her. She's not... It's not a... And she is in combat constantly, so she...
Yeah.
is going to have it where it's not easily removed,
Mhm.
like a thin jewelry strip, and so it's, you know.
Just hoping Lady Luck was on my side.
I don't know if Stoics ever swung a sword.
Yeah. Which, by the
Such a
way,
dumbass. You're about to get your ass.
Do you have to
You're
mention
about to be murdered.
It wouldn't work.
I know, I'm just trying to think.
I was gonna back up and dispel magic on the Ruby.
yeah.
But magic can't get into the orb.
I was still gonna try.
Yeah, you can try.
But if
Yeah.
it's that fast and I'm like 5-10 feet away from you, and I see you go down, there's no other reaction for him to have.
Goddamn. I was hoping I got all of y'all back to a safe distance.
Because I can't even Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, and your sword is mundane at the moment.
Yeah. So no +2.
It would be whatever your strength modifier is, which I believe is +1 for you.
It is +1.
So it'd be, 1d8 plus 1 for
Okay.
damage if you hit, and it's a. I think you're proficient in long swords, so you would still get your proficiency bonus.
Yeah. Yep, I am. Surprisingly.
So your proficiency plus strength, you could add to your attack roll.
Yeah, so it'd still be the +6 that I get.
Okay, 20 higher.
I have 25.
Even
Unconscious.
even
I'm,
dead, you're still.
I'm still.
Uh-huh. Boom, we don't need to go first.
Yeah, I was really hoping I was not going to be first in this lineup for once, but no.
Okay, 15 or higher.
18.
Okay.
All the times that I'd be like, you know what? I'd like to not have such
10
a
or higher.
12.
14.
we have a different map up, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get that corrected. Oh, okay, you haven't put it up yet.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
actually not upset at you this time.
It's me.
I really thought
How to be angry.
I really thought I had something. I'm so sorry. I really thought I had something.
Thinking as a player, I wouldn't do this. But thinking as my character,
Okay.
just
We don't need the toxic. It's what my character would have done. Even though I do that all the time.
it really is.
All right.
You think after how many years we played together, we'd have some sense of smartness when it comes to playing this game?
This is an emotionally charged situation. Like, there's a lot with
Yeah.
the Ruby Judge going on.
Yeah.
Yep. Stuff you don't even know yet. So, Asura is first. So you need to make a death save.
Okay, a 13.
Okay. So 1 save, 1 failure.
I always forget it's a 10. 10 is the split. Because I was like, 13, that's so low. And I was like, no, it's a 10. 10's the split.
Okay. So she is next.
Oh, God.
Okay, seeing you running, starting to run forward to attack her. She is going to... You see that blur of movement again as Asura is dropped onto the ground. Suddenly she is in front of you. She is going to attempt to grapple you with one hand, so you need to make a strength check.
Give me my +1. 18.
Ooh.
Okay, we need to re-roll again. Because we're...
Can't do that twice. 11.
We tied again.
18.
Dude, this cannot keep happening. This is the third tie.
My dice is on fire tonight.
From 2 weeks ago rolling all the natural 20s to now 3 straight ties.
Oh my goodness. I picture this like this quick movement of hands as you're like...
Well, that's 9. Now we're back to normal.
Okay, 16. As you feel that powerful, like far more powerful than she should be for her size, like grip around your throat as she slashes into you, now with advantage, twice. First one's a 16. Which
I think that is my armor class.
Okay.
I have a higher AC than you?
Yeah. I don't have the strength to wear anything stronger.
35 slashing damage.
Okay, cut in half. So it's 16 or 15? No. My math went out to 35.
17.
17, yeah. Okay. On the second
And I
one.
need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. 18.
Okay. You feel as this sword like slashes into you, like slashing down across your midsection. Again, no whoosh or the traditional sword sounds that you've grown accustomed to, over all this time, you just hear those whispers, and as it slashes into you, it's like the whispers themselves seep into you and almost threaten to overtake your mind, but you're able to keep your focus just long enough to take another strike. And that is a natural 20.
I would have had it, but I don't know if I could survive that one. Okay.
And with
It's a miss.
this particular sword,
Oh no.
Oh no.
Jeez.
It's got
No.
nat 20 abilities.
Oh no.
so first is the damage. So 26 slashing damage down to 13.
Okay.
But you see what she does with the second slash, with this kind of quick movement that you almost are not accustomed to, which people usually are just slashing, trying to get hits. She instead kind of maneuvers it in just the right way to get just the right leverage and just the right spot, pulls up on her sword, and your left arm gets cut off.
Stoic gonna be writing. No left arm. Okay.
Very cash,
Arm.
Arm gone.
Okay.
No, don't say it like that.
Okay. Stoic. It's your turn.
Wait, you're still up?
Yeah.
Okay.
You are not fighting this.
No.
You are not fighting this.
I'm gonna look at her and go,
Ow.
yeah. I'm gonna grit my
Sorry.
teeth.
Wowza.
Not to ruin the moment, but like when I sent him the music for this fight,
Uh-huh.
like it added an automatic transcript in the Slack message, and the Slack message was just "oh" with an exclamation point.
Fitting.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna grit my teeth, and I'm gonna look at her and just. Every moment you waste with us is another moment you lose the white depth.
Okay. Are you trying to persuade her, or are you just taunting her?
I'm trying to persuade her because
Okay.
I'll even continue and be like, we won't make this easy.
She will cut through all of us.
I'm trying to intimidate and persuade at the same time.
Not intimidating.
I appreciate that.
I am going to need you to make a persuasion check at disadvantage,
Okay.
and it's going to be a very high DC because of the way things have happened here.
Yeah. I don't think there's no dice. It's in that one.
Yeah. Sounds right.
I hate
She
this
does
here.
not seem phased or intimidated or almost like you said nothing. This is a force of nature.
Okay. Was that my action or my bonus action?
I mean, to speak, I'm giving it to you as a free action, so.
Okay. And no magic will work.
Say something
Is that
else.
Okay. Like I said, every moment you waste with us, he gets further away. But I know how to contact him.
Okay, so you're using your action to try again to
Yep.
do something.
Yep. I'm gonna use my action to try and make a deal. I don't want to sell him out, but I will.
Okay. Make another persuasion check with disadvantage.
Not with those silver dice. Well, maybe those dice. Yes. 20.
Okay. Zanova, you're up.
I mean, I'm gonna leave. If I'm not already, I'm getting out of the 30 feet. I'm not already.
Alright, let me...
I'm not persuasive.
Well, she moved forward to stoic, so you're gonna have to move
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to this.
quite a ways back here.
Okay, whatever. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Cause
Okay.
there's like blood running down my nose, down my mouth. I try to get her attention with what's going on here. And I'm like kind of coughing up blood at this point, and I just look at her and I say, "They're idiots. I recognize power when I see it. Just leave us. We can help you."
With? Or are you just saying, we'll help?
Yeah, I mean, she asked for the White Death, right?
You can try the persuasion check with disadvantage.
It's bad. 10.
Okay.
Um,
She says, I know we haven't resolved yours yet, well,
yeah.
but she, as you say that, she says, they are not idiots, they're evil.
How much do I need to move back?
I think it's... Oh, I forgot I can give her a number.
Someone can get me conscious again.
Well, I'm assuming because it's my spell, if I cast a healing spell from a distance, you'd be okay.
I'm still inside the...
You know, you're gonna end up basically going about 20-25 feet off map, basically.
I'm saying I don't know where that
This is not a very
magic
big map.
spawns from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're kind of in the bottom corner of it.
Yeah.
While I'm inside the anti-magic, I don't think magic can touch me. Like, I don't think any magic can penetrate into that bubble.
Okay.
Which I will say you would probably guess to be true because you are the one who has tried to scry and send, messages and things like that.
It's a little force field.
And realizing the experience of reaching out but seemingly being rebuffed at the last second when you tried to use those spells makes sense with this sort of aura. So you can absolutely move back out of it, but yeah, you would probably know most likely any magic trying to send into it is not going to work.
You're running towards her.
Yeah, I've got an idea.
He's sprinting
If you get
towards
it-
me.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to not be stupid. Like with how the game works.
Mm-hmm.
You can bring her out of the bubble.
I can try. I mean, I'm not working with great strength either here, so
You're just using your strength. To
I'm
pull her.
assuming
No
that's
magic.
what
I'm not a very large person, if that helps.
I mean, I feel like she's just gonna take me out if I go towards you because she's in the way.
I mean, I would say protect yourself right now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
attack of opportunity, I'm probably out.
Yeah.
One more swinging on that.
Yeah.
Good, I have the most hit points right now. I do not like
Is
that.
there something is there a present I can give her? What are we gonna... Okay, sorry. I'll just...
Duct tape the slit in her helmet. I don't need magic.
I don't think anything would really help me. I'm just gonna stay where I am because I don't really want to make any sudden moves with this lady because I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice.
Okay. Okay, is that your turn?
Yeah.
Sarek.
Alright, well, I'm gonna... Because I'm already in melee with her, right?
Yep.
To do
Hug her.
a stabilization, you have to have a healer's kit. Or can you do a medicine check and stabilize without one?
Don't you have a potion?
I do not, but it wouldn't work anyway. It's magic. Potions are magic.
You don't have like evasion, right? Like you can't dodge out of the way.
Nope, I use my action surge in the spider fight, so I don't even have that to try to do it.
No, you can make a medicine check. The healer's kit lets it succeed.
Okay, it's an automatic success.
So
with the
yeah,
healer's kit.
you can try to do
Okay.
a medicine check.
Or you
So-
can just
Try to get you out of here. I mean,
pull me out of the circle.
Or say something nice.
yeah. Look, I'm still going to move between her and Asura.
Okay.
And between gasps and
Actually, since the sword is down, yeah, I'll,
yeah, and kind of trying to keep my breath because I am dying, pretty much. Or at least I'm assuming I'm dying. I have no idea.
What is going on?
We go back a long way. Clearly, this Valen guy is important to you. He's important to everybody here. Let us go, and we'll help you find him.
She said she lost him.
Okay, month ago.
Lost him? Is that the word?
Ran off for
roll a persuasion check. Straight.
Straight. Five.
Can you do your thing now?
I think so far we've been doing that as free actions. I'm hoping I can still.
Yeah.
get out of the circle more than anything.
Yeah, but if I can stabilize you, you don't have to roll
We have
death
a little
saves.
more time.
Trying to take care of one problem at a time.
You said a 5?
Mm-hmm.
You see the sword as it's coming back, like as she is getting ready in a smooth movement to come back at Stoic again, just the slightest hesitation.
Okay.
What else are you gonna do?
Be nice again.
When's the last time you scryed on Valen? How long ago was that?
Oh my
Do you
gosh,
remember?
that's so long ago.
Yeah, we haven't done it in a long time.
She kind of was like, screw this guy. She was
Yeah.
done with him.
We have magic. We can try to find him. We can help. But we don't have to
To
fight.
keep going again, it's gonna be an action.
I know.
Okay.
I'm trying this as a last ditch Hail Mary effort. You 1 or 2 death saves right now.
I'm 1 fail, 1 success right
Okay.
now.
Don't. Oh, okay.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
Do,
I'm
no,
freaking out.
you do it. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
I'm hoping that I can
I've
get
got
it
40
before
backup characters if anything goes wrong.
Isn't Lenora close to us?
I'm going. That's what I'm rolling with.
So say it again. You have magic.
Yeah, I forgot exactly, but essentially the gist of it was that we want to find him too. We can help find him.
Okay. Roll another persuasion check. Straight.
A 6. Because I have no persuasion.
Okay. You don't really see any different reaction in this.
Well, I don't have anything I can do with a bonus action that's going to do anything. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's my turn.
Okay.
Now, probably looking at her with, I mean, it's not, it may not actually help anything, but they are like with pleading eyes, like eyes of familiarity with her.
Okay. So that's the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Inthrus is up. I think in this split second, you see her torn. It's like you see her watching everybody saying these things, but seeing Stoic, like, in her grip, like,
Without one arm.
yeah. You see, I think she would. I'm just gonna roll for it. I don't know what she would do. Between a couple options here.
Like cooler heads prevail. I say this.
Not with the folly.
Not with the volley.
Not with the
I
volley.
say this knowing full well that I absolutely pulled the dumbest move, thinking that I could figure that out.
I think me finding sunshine was serendipitous.
Because you're about to need it. Turns out you need a floating shield when you don't have an arm.
Yes, you do. Exactly. That's why I'm like, I'm all right. I still hold my shield.
Oh my gosh. So,
Not wrong.
Yeah. As if I survived.
so you see out of the corner of your eye her look at you with just the slightest look of almost apology for a second, and then she stands up just a little bit straighter and says, I am an emissary of Corandia. I personally don't have any bones in this fight. I have known Leader Tildwin for quite a while. We go a ways back. Let us help you find Valen. There's no one who wants to find him more than us. Perhaps. And she... because of the nature of what she's trying to do, I'm actually making it a deception check. Because she's trying to invoke Tildwin's name in a way that doesn't enrage.
You mean not calling him a vampire to her face?
Yeah.
And she gets advantage on that guy. Okay.
There's those smooth talking skills.
really use one of those natural 20s that you've been rolling lately.
I know, right?
Not yet. You see the Ruby Judge's helm just turn to her for a second. Asura, I need you to make another death save.
Oh,
It's a fail.
6.
So, on the Ruby Judge's turn, this is going to be kind of a dramatic pause in combat for a second on her turn. As she is still holding Stoic, like Stoic being bigger and stronger than Asura, still looking like a child being held up by a bodybuilder in a sense. It's like just blood gushing out of his the stump of his arm.
Did she get me at the shoulder or the elbow?
It's like at the bicep right here.
Okay.
Yeah. She is going to pull like reach into her belt, and she pulls out kind of a small white orb that as she lets it go, it like hovers in the air above her hand. And looking to each of you, says, "Swear on this orb that you will meet with me at a later time."
Yeah.
You say yeah?
Yeah.
As you do, you see, like, from the orb, a silver thread, like, connect to your chest, and then just kind of fall limp and then dissipate. Sonoa?
I think she would instinctively look at Stoic first, see the arm that's not there, and say, yeah.
And then kind of falls limp and disappears.
I swear.
You get a thread connection as well. And Enthris nods as another thread is connected to her. And she clutches her hand around the orb and puts it back into her belt. And she says, 2 hours south of here is a stream. Go there, walk east, and you will see a waterfall. Meet me there no later than 2 hours after sunrise.
2 hours after sunrise.
If you do not, I now know where you are. You will not get this chance again. And she tosses you a good 15 feet. Like, you take 2 more bludgeoning damage as you just get tossed like a rag doll, into the ground, roll it a few times, feeling some rocks and stuff kind of digging into your fresh wound.
Are we out of combat?
And she says, "Go."
You can start picking
I
your
rush
way
to
up.
Asura
Mm-hmm.
and help you.
Okay.
I mean, if it's going to take a second, since I'm right there, I'm going to stabilize her.
She starts to walk off, clearly aware of you guys, but starts to walk off toward the battle. She's not walking hurriedly, so you'll have to try to do a medicine check to stabilize her.
Well, yeah, how long does that take you? Is that instant? Because I can spare the dying.
Because this is, we're still in
You're
combat.
not out of the aura
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, she's slowly
Okay,
walking
Yeah.
away.
God, 11.
You needed a 10, so that's just enough.
Okay.
Cool. So then I am stabilized right now.
Yeah.
No more death saves.
Cool.
Still unconscious on the ground.
I'm actually trying to pull you out of her aura at this point. Like,
Yeah.
As you feel as she walks off far enough, disappearing kind of into the darkness and flame, you start slowly seeing one by one the magical effects on your equipment come back.
I'm just laying there holding my stub.
Running over to you, checking you, you're good. I'm running over to you. We're gonna start bandaging you up.
Good thing I have the chest of preserving. I can put your arm in there.
I mean, we already have a
We
body
need a
part in
second
there.
one. We need a second one.
We need one for
Limbs and patience.
Yeah. One for limbs, one for pastries, yeah.
So,
I'm actually.
What's really awkward is when you go to get your when you go into the cupcake one, you're like, what's this arm doing here?
Wait a minute. Oh, I went to the wrong one.
Yeah, I
Little
had,
Timmy's birthday.
I had to attune to my shark belt.
Sure.
So I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna put it on my arm.
As a tourniquet.
and so you're helping bandage up his arm.
Yes, I
shark
am.
belt in my arm.
Interest looks at
pretty good
you,
at
Zanoa, and
bandages.
says, "Is his is it good for now? Is it going to stop? Is it tourniqueted?
I think, yeah, it is for now.
Good."
That's queen.
Yeah, it is.
Being in that position, I'm not even going to let you roll for the attack as you take 2 bludgeoning damage from her as she slaps you hard.
So strong.
Real low.
You idiot. Shut up. Let's go. We need.
Am I awake
Oh,
yet?
She's not the only threat here.
Well,
Okay, so we don't have time to do anything, so I'm just gonna instantly cast, just in case, because I'm gonna do, where is it? Mass Cure Wounds. On all of us.
This is like right now I'm just stabilized.
yeah.
Yeah. Good. Oh, that is good. 18. 23 points to all of us.
Thank you.
Yes.
You guys get back there with everybody else. I'm gonna lead us through here.
So you awake, not knowing fully what happened. You don't see the Ruby Judge anywhere. You just look around and see people frantically getting the caravan moving as you see Inthris has taken your arm, draped it across her shoulders to help you, and
Like
the other
what?
arm missing.
Uh-huh.
We're going.
I have so many questions.
Yep. Luckily, we'll have time for answers at this point.
I got you.
But you guys
I got you.
just get with the caravan, with the people, and I'll get us through here. We'll be fine. Inthris, you want to put that in here just to keep it fresh?
All right.
Yep.
Puts it in there.
And I find something to just wrap the other hands up from the spider woman person.
Yeah.
And I start leading us through.
Maybe Lenora can help.
Yeah.
So, you guys begin. You continue on, occasionally dealing with a creature or bits of soldiers as they push through and attack you, but gets more and more sparing the further out you get from the heat of the battle. But still, the whole way, you're also seeing enormous spells being cast in the distance and large creatures, and it's just astonishing, in a way, just the clash of forces happening in this forest.
How far do we get when we stop experiencing any of that stuff, where we might feel the caravan would be safe to travel without us because we have to go the other way. We were already 2 hours away from where we need to go or more. Now we're even further away.
Was it 2 hours past sunrise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not sunrise yet, is it?
No. But we're still pretty far away. Now we're even further away from where we need to be.
Yeah, you were headed west.
Yeah.
Where you go south and then east.
Yeah.
So as soon as we feel comfortable,
you know, you get away from the pitch of the battle and everything like that, and things start getting quieter. And then you run into another patrol. You feel like it's going to be a little bit before you get to where it's truly safe. And so you keep moving, I would imagine. How far do you want to go?
guys, we can't get too far. We've got to go.
I'm not abandoning them.
You don't have to. You didn't make the deal.
That's true. You can stay with them.
The rest of us had to make a deal to save your life. And now we have to fulfill it.
Or else everyone around us is in danger. Because she knows where we are.
You know I don't like to be separated.
Oh.
You're not abandoning anyone. You're escorting people who need you, and the orders that everyone was shouting was scatter. If you went back, I don't know. All that would be left is rubble, or maybe the People's Army if they succeeded. It depends on who won. But if they're scattering the rebels, really, it's not going to win. They're going to try to escape. All that'll be left is enemies and prisoners.
I don't know what you're trying to persuade me to do. Do you want me to come with you, or do you want me to stay
I'm
with them?
saying you're afraid of leaving them behind and going, you want to go back. Don't. That's not what I understand that procedure to be.
No, I meant the caravan of injured people.
Oh, well, yes. Yeah, you could stay.
I just don't want to leave you all.
I mean, we'll be back.
Can you promise that? Do I need to grab an orb?
At this point, I can't promise anything. I will try to bring all of us back.
Lenora was out fighting, right? She's not with us in the caravan, correct?
Yeah, you saw her rip the sky open and basically solar flare entire groups of
Resham
people.
told us, but not. Okay.
But
Yeah, Resham is there.
But he's-
Injured.
yeah, physically here, not
Yeah.
in the other
Yeah, I
way
can't fix
with
it
us.
anymore.
I was gonna try to talk to Lenora about my arm, but she's not there.
Lenore's not with us.
No.
No. There's nobody of note with
Yeah.
you besides Resham and Ether.
Whatever you want to do.
I'm going to hand you the document that I have on the Ruby Judge that I pulled from what's his face's,
Vampy.
and it has her real name and some other pieces of information
Okay.
that if you need to use it as leverage.
Okay. I know that face. Do not feel guilty about this one. Don't say sorry one time. It's okay.
I just hand you the document.
Yep.
Which document?
The one that I pulled from what's his face's
Children.
Do
vampire
you actually
children.
have all that stuff written down, like your real name?
He had a profile on
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah, I was gonna-
Take a picture of it and send it to
I'm
me.
just gonna
Okay,
bring
okay.
It did not contain a lot of information, but it's his handwriting.
All right.
because it's from his like personal notes on it, people.
Unless there's something that's calling her something ugly, I don't know how good that's gonna.
Yeah, because it's not like it
But it's
says
her-
he's a vampire. It just says.
No, it's his notes that basically kind of be like, her thing with Valen, like she's
That's right. There was that.
like
wasn't
why like
Cast some doubt.
it casts
Yeah.
doubt on his
Their
belief in
relationship.
her because she's like, oh, this is going to
forgot
be a
about
problem.
that.
Yeah, like the notes kind of are like, she was my project. It was really difficult to get her stuff that we needed for her, and now her whole thing with Valen is kind of a problem. Like the notes are not of love
Yeah.
or care. They're one of practical annotation of, this is my project.
Maybe he took Valen out to better control the dredge.
But the most important thing is that you have her real
They can
name
cast doubt on that, like.
if you need to, but you have her real name and where she's from.
So, you're staying behind then?
I'm gonna stay with protect the caravan
Okay.
because I'm not linked to anything here.
Where are you at health wise?
I'm only at 23 hit points, but I have a bottle.
You do. Okay. Is it the
Just the
regular? Whatever
No,
it
no,
is?
it's a
Superior.
no, I don't know
Grab
if it's
that
superior.
from her. You might want to send that with us.
You're going to have to move.
Yeah, I've got a lot of healing
get
on me
there on
too. It
time.
doesn't do a lot of healing, but I've got a lot of spell slots I can burn.
I have a greater potion healing. but I don't
Sir, you can take a
We
short
drink it within
rest
30 feet of her,
when
it's not gonna do
the
anything.
stops, so,
Yeah.
Are healing potions really magic? I thought they were like.
No, they're
They're magical.
They're magic.
I thought it was like a smoothie kind of magic.
Smoothie kind of magic.
I think good berries might still work, but like a health potion does not.
Okay.
Yeah.
no, that's why they heal you like instantaneously. Is magic.
Had a smoothie?
Yeah. It's a kale smoothie.
It
Yeah.
is non-magical medicine in this world if you will have a few days for it to work. You know.
Yeah, then I will give you my smoothie.
Okie dokie. It's the you said it's the greater, right?
That's greater.
Do you have mending?
Mend your arm. That's not working.
So it just dangles there.
It repairs like a 1 foot sack, right?
1 foot.
I
Like
think
a 1 foot.
wouldn't it just
like
attach?
1 foot-
Wouldn't it just
No,
attach it back? Not like
A
make it
single
useful?
break or
I don't know.
tear.
It's an object,
Yeah.
not a creature.
Broken chain
I mean,
link to a key.
the arm's an
hook,
object
a
right now.
lion skin.
It's not going to give me health points.
We'll get you a robot arm and then I can mend it.
I mean,
You can give a cyborg.
that's a question.
Yeah. Be the coolest character in the campaign.
Yeah, bro.
The robotic automaton arm.
You're already cooking it up. Yeah, you're doing great.
Part Warforged.
Are you able
mean-
to scry right now?
Ooh, no.
No? Okay.
More of a quarter orc.
I'm a
at that
little.
That was a low blow. Racist.
You trying to figure out where Valen is before we go?
Yeah. We could have some information, but
I'm a
no,
little
that's okay.
depleted.
Understandable. Would you guys rather have some healing now or later?
I can heal somebody.
Because
Now
I can kind of pump us up a little bit to give us some
Worried
juice
if I
for the
keep
road.
healing, it's gonna close up and then have no reattachment. Should I just? That's why I want to
There's
talk to her.
magic
Is
for
it-
that.
Should I just like? Is there no choice? Is there no chance of getting it reattached? Sure.
Always a chance.
Does somebody want me to heal them?
No, I mean,
I'm really, again, I'm not planning on fighting this person.
no.
No,
Never mind.
we're not going to fight.
I had to get her off. So,
That was an interesting way of doing that.
yeah.
It didn't help things.
If we don't start moving, we'll
Yeah.
just see what she does.
Let's
more.
go.
Go quickly.
Let's double time it.
Don't do anything stupid.
Try
Stoic.
Can we take the dragon and be faster again? Woohoo!
Most importantly, come back safely.
We'll go see if we can lend her.
I think she should be lending you one.
Mm-hmm.
And we go.
Mm-hmm. Hoofing it as quickly as possible.
And I'm gonna basically coordinate my team now, which is whoever is still can still fight while we're still moving these bodies. So if I need to make like a slight rotation of who's carrying what and when, who has what weapons out, like I'm just like trying to maximize what we can do and keep moving towards a safe place, since we don't know.
Okay.
I don't exactly know where we're going, and we're just trying to find a safe place to.
Yeah, which would be the priority, is trying to find a place to stop, because you're not. You obviously had to do what you had to do, but it's not good to be moving sick and injured people a lot, and so it's better if you can find a place to.
Yeah, so I'm
hide.
really prioritizing a safe place for us to camp, and making sure that whoever I have on point with me is very aware, is well versed in this current like terrain we're in,
Okay.
who can help me find a safe place to park us.
Okay.
I can cast sending to him.
To Valen?
Mm-hmm.
Give it a
Say
shot.
what?
Yeah. I mean, that's up to you guys. All I know is that we've now agreed to help the Ruby Judge do
Technically,
something.
you agreed to meet her in
Well,
2 hours.
To meet her,
From
yes.
sunrise.
Yeah.
This is all as we're traveling.
Yes.
She said she lost him. Is that what she said?
A month ago. Or she hasn't seen him in a month.
And how long has it been since Valen was gone?
Whew.
Cumulative. He's been gone since our trip to the desert was like.
Man. Probably 3 or 4 months. Maybe longer than
At
that.
least, I would say at least 3. Yeah. Because it was a bit over 20 days. It was like 21 days ish for the travel one way, and 20 more back. So yeah, I would say a little over 3 months probably.
I want to know what you're thinking about where he is, who he is, because I don't know,
I don't either.
and I don't know whatever it is between him and her.
I'm hoping maybe she can tell us.
Whatever it is, it's strong. There was a lot of emotion behind that.
Yeah.
Do you want me to try to say something to him now, or just wait?
I think wait, save the spell, because I don't see why, unless she can't, I don't see why she might have not already tried that. So if we're gonna sit with her and we're gonna talk with her, we can bring it up that you can.
I can't persuade her that I did. Clearly, I've already tried persuading her.
You know, exactly. So why,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we can wait.
We have a conversation, see what we can find out.
Yeah.
Give her some information that we have with Tildwin's file on her.
Does his file say anything about how the Ruby Judge herself was tracked by those above her or around her? Like if we would know if anyone keeps track of where she is for the meeting that we're about to have.
Well, you know that she is kind of the head of the network of the Fingers, the like secret police. And so probably from the notes you would know, basically everybody is tracked at all times. This is Lyrandil. It's
I didn't know if I
You
could
know.
surmise like, oh, this is an off the grid situation, or maybe not.
You're asking if like this meeting is a state thing or just
If anybody
from
would
it.
know where she is
Oh yeah, no.
when we meet.
No idea.
Okay. I was just going off these notes. I didn't know if that was the thing. Okay.
Okay. So,
Keep going.
still exhausted, still injured,
Mm-hmm.
just trudging, but trying to make good time, as good as you can. As you continue to make your way through cross countryside, still trying to avoid population centers and everything like that. It is a grueling and exhausting journey on foot as the sun starts to rise. Eventually, you circle your way down and find yourself in a forest that you think looks familiar enough. I mean, it's hard to tell, but you think it's the right one. Eyes and mind kind of blurry from everything. You begin making your way south and eventually hit a stream, a decent sized stream, and turn left to start heading east. All the while, I imagine keeping your eyes open and watchful, but you don't run into anything except wildlife. Eventually, you come up. You kind of get, because of the terrain, kind of forcing you off the stream momentarily, with a game trail, and kind of coming up back towards the stream. You hear the sound ahead of you of a waterfall. You make your way and come into sight, and you see kind of a boulder set into the ground next to the stream, with this waterfall, this kind of taller waterfall. And you see, just kind of crouched down, her back to you. You see the Ruby Judge, still fully armored, but her helm off, with just this kind of short cropped black hair. And as you come out, you see the helm just reappear over her.
Pretty awesome, yeah.
As her head turns kind of slightly, as she says, "You walk loudly. I could hear you coming from over 100 feet away."
Just to make sure that we aren't trying to hide anything from you.
And she turns, and she stands up on the boulder and turns towards you.
And I'm staying 30 feet away from her.
Okay.
35 feet.
Sure, 35 feet.
Yeah.
Why not?
Speak.
We're here to help you. What can you tell us about Valen that would help us find him? He's been gone for a month, right?
You offer to help me, and you want information from me?
I mean, if you want us to try to find him for you. He's been gone a month and you haven't found him?
He was right in saying that I can magically help track him down. I tried before and it didn't work at all, which now when I kind of look her over, I see why.
So you come seeking information and offering tools that don't work.
Well, I'm saying if you're not with him now, then maybe it would work. I haven't tried.
Then try.
Well, I'm a little tired right now.
Our dalliance a few hours ago was drained a few of us.
I had to use most of my magic to just keep us up. But you have my word that by the time I get rest tonight, I can try. And I
Your
have a
word
pretty
means
good.
very little to me, criminal.
That's fair. I mean, we maybe know more than we think we know. I only really know one person from the Targonian Empire, but I think I know two now. Is that where you're from?
What is it to you?
To be honest, it wasn't much to me, but I found out who you were through your buddy Toblin.
She just stays silent.
Zadora? Not making any sudden moves.
She just stays silent, keeps staring at you.
That is who you are, right?
That is my name.
Okay. I didn't have any way of knowing that until we did, in fact, find documents on you, on the princess, on every major player here at Tildwin's.
Found.
I'll pull it out. The documents. I'll hand it to her.
Okay. She walks towards you, and you all feel again that.
I'll walk towards her. Yeah. I'll walk towards her.
Okay. So you definitely feel that effect is still there. It doesn't seem to be a temporary thing. It seems to be enduring.
Yeah.
You know, as she
It's in his handwriting.
as she takes the book from you.
I actually have the princess's documents too. I don't think I'll hear this. Never mind.
Okay. When she opens it, it says, "And where did you find this?"
At his estate, his castle. Can I like give her a general location? I can't remember exactly where it is, but
And what were you doing there?
Helping the people.
Who are you?
I mean, it has been a while, I guess. Don't remember me, Sarek.
I've never seen you before.
So that creates a lot of conflicting things in Sarek's head right now. 'Cause two competing things are trying to take space in his brain. Of this is his friend, but how does his friend not know who he is and has never met him before? So he's trying to reconcile those two things. You know, I don't know how to answer that right now, and it honestly may not even matter. We found what essentially was a blood factory. The people were being drained of their blood.
I've been told of the lies that the White Death was spreading.
Look me in the eyes and tell me I'm lying.
Roll a persuasion check.
No advantage on that. 9. Why am I doing the talking?
Yeah, we're not that persuasive.
I know, I'm not. I have 0.
I kept all the persuasion at home. So.
Uh-huh. Yep. Well,
I'm here, but I'm trying not to say anything stupid. So.
You're doing great.
You're doing great, sweetie.
He's still mad he doesn't have an arm.
The White Death, for all of his time in operation, has spent his time spreading lies about the leadership of this country. Is that not so? Is that not part of his modus operandi?
I'm pretty sure that's the same thing that could be said about the crown. We're two opposing sides that are each going to say their own things. So if you want to think that the White Death is lying and we want to think that the crown is lying, what do you believe? What do you believe? You've been around the crown long enough, and you say that that the rebels are less than, that they're criminals, that they're evil. Do you actually believe that, or is that what you've been told to believe?
Lyrandil is the answer to all mankind.
Wow.
Is it so hard to see? I've seen what mankind does when left to their own devices. I've seen what they become without a guiding hand. I've experienced it personally. How can you say that pursuing anything but the greater good is anything but selfish?
I come from Bloodpool. I come from one of the harshest countries in the world, well, at least on this side of the world. Monsters and men, both of them. And I can tell you a harsh hand, a firm hand like that does not help. It only hurts.
And yet it has helped this nation for years.
As evidenced by the massive rebellion going on right now.
There will always be those who reject good.
And there will always be those who reject evil.
Yes. But are not all acts of evil ultimately acts of selfishness?
There's some truth to that. But the moment that you decide to strip the will of people in order to fix that problem, you become the monster too. People have a right to choose how they want to act, and there are others that have a right to choose how they will respond to that. It's not pretty. It may not even be the best method, but it's what we have. Because the moment that we enforce our will on others, we become evil. That's a choice too.
Valen tried to say similar things, but free will is a right when you've earned it. Just like any child is not allowed a real sword until they're good enough they're old enough and strong enough to use a real one. In the same way, Many, many of mankind are not truly evil, but misguided. They are not strong enough to wield their own swords yet. Yet you want to arm every little toddler and just let them wave it around aimlessly. Just because. Just out of some ethereal right. But my experience has shown that all of the world's evils come from people who do not deserve to have the power.
And so
That is why it is better for it to be collective. The wrong people having power is what is the source of all evil. It is what spurred evil in Lyrindil, and why Morthag overthrew them and made everyone equal.
Yeah.
It's why Targonia is so full of evil as well. A hierarchical system of an emperor and his high families ruling over everyone else, and the only other source of power is money. But I know firsthand the abuse of power that can happen to someone. This is the answer.
More abuse of power.
Striving for equality. Striving for the people to have power.
Stripping away autonomy for the sake of safety.
For the sake of good. For the sake of mankind to move beyond itself. To become something more.
What is more? What is that exactly?
Better.
Which is?
A world where no one needs to kill. Where violence need not be done.
I look her over.
Look at my
A
arm.
little. Yeah. That's interesting.
I see in your eyes the judgment, but it is the judgment of a child. You carry weapons, have you not killed with them?
Yeah. And don't take the judgment personally. I judge everyone.
That's true.
I have killed many, and I will kill more. But not for money, not for my own gain, but for something bigger than myself. Every person I kill has chosen evil over good. The soft will never understand. And this is why those of us who are strong enough to wield the sword have to do it for them. They will never understand, but they will benefit if they just commit to community. They will reap untold, bountiful harvests from the seeds sown by my sword.
Is that what you see? On this land, on your land, is that what you see?
I see the
Bountiful
blood
harvest.
of evil watering a harvest of peace to come.
That ultimate good that you fight for.
Yes.
Is that your king?
Yes. He began it, and we carry it with him.
One in power. I thought you were running from that in Targonia.
He is not the same. He does not have the same amount of power that people have the power. And they chose him to be the leader. Would you rather have leadership defined by being born to the right parents? Inheritance of ultimate power in a country? Or perhaps granted to you by somebody more powerful than you, who you did something for that helps their selfish gain? All the other systems of power in the world are corrupt by nature. But if everyone is equal, then no one can truly have that power.
When all this is over, will they have that choice? Any choice?
They always have a choice. We all make choices every day.
And if that choice doesn't align with yours?
With the people's. The people determine what's good, not me. I am a judge on behalf of the people. And just like any criminal who rapes or murders or steals, they are put to death or imprisoned for their evil. This is no different. We just aim for a higher good than other countries.
Well, then Valen must mean a whole lot to you if we're still alive. What does he mean to you?
What does he mean to you?
To be honest, I met him along with all the others. Him, with Sarah and a couple more. And they all just welcomed me in, and I didn't really get to spend much time with him, honestly, before you.
Never had the pleasure of meeting him.
He was like a brother to me.
He is not your family.
He's the closest thing I've ever had, because Tildwyn took my family.
You're a family like a gang is a family.
My family was my father and my temple. Your Lord Tildwyn, who was nothing more than a blood-sucking liar, tricked your whole country into giving him a free meal ticket every day. So while you sit there and spit defense of the weak, you were working for a man that did nothing more than slaughter half your country of innocence.
She draws her sword.
This is why I was trying not to talk. You don't have to believe me. You can go look for yourself. You've never been to his manor, have you?
Many times.
Yeah.
I can't see her face and I can't use magic, but can I get a read on how she said that?
Yeah, do an insight check.
I think that's a 19. Yeah.
You are clearly picking up a lot of defensiveness about him. Not personal defensiveness, but just she defends him. Yeah.
But
Like-
did she seem unwavering and like, I've never been there before, or I have been there before?
Well, she seems to at least be. She seems to think she has.
Have you been downstairs into the bowels of his dungeon, where he has a meat factory with an entrance to a cave, where your soldiers were bringing prisoners, unwittingly having no idea what was done to them?
hanging them upside down, cutting them and bleeding them.
And storing them.
It's more manufactured lies, more propaganda from your White Death.
I'm up and
Where
see
do
with
you
my
think
own
White
eyes.
Death got that information? It came from our first-hand account.
He has quite the imagination. Shall I tell you the 100 contradictory stories he's told about me? Or about Morthag?
I don't-
Or about General Cray? Or about Arizea? Or any other leadership in this country? That is what he does.
Which is fine, but I have the free right to believe him.
You are
Everything I've learned about you or any of them has not been from him or any stories. Everything we've done, every action we've taken, has been off of our own personal account of your country. You took my arm tonight and I still don't hate you. Because all I know of you is I saw you raid a village, which honestly didn't sit well with me. But then for some reason, you let me go. And you saved a friend. I don't know where Valen would be right now if it wasn't for you. I've already lost 2 others. Of my family. I don't hate you. I just hate seeing innocents die. And it sounds like you were very similar. But you need to stop and look for yourself at what is going on in this country. Not listen to stories from some mystery man in a White Death costume, because that's not what we're doing. I don't follow anyone with blind trust. I've been to your ball and I've met and interviewed with every one of your pillars and every person you just mentioned. And honestly, most of them seemed good and like they care for this country. Tildwin was an exception. And so is... What's his name?
Arizea.
And so is Arizea. I've heard no stories about him, but I know what my gut says, and I do not trust that man.
I do not know. Where he is. He's been apart from me for 47 days.
You're speaking about Valen.
You don't even know his real name.
No. Because I didn't pry too much.
Because you're not actually family.
Oh, I can't find my notes. I had notes from Valen conversations. No. We're not family by blood. And I would never claim to be. But we were friends. And we were like family. We traveled together for months. We had each other's back. We had been through misery and pain and happiness.
You do know his real name.
Of course I do.
Family.
Yes. And I know that he would not leave me again.
He didn't leave on his own.
my one hope was that he did and came back to you.
Has she read the file yet at all? Has she done anything to open
She
it up?
opened it, but then
Okay.
started talking to you and hasn't looked at all since then.
Dalian?
What?
Didn't Valen have a brother as well?
Did he? Didn't tell me.
Yeah, actually.
And his name was Dalian? I have some notes on stuff.
don't have that. I don't have
Dalian
that.
conversations.
It's been forever since I've thought about it. It starts with I'm pretty sure it starts with a D.
I'm pretty sure I got it, dude. I may have just misspelled it.
That's
so.
some pre-Zenoa right there. I don't
It
know.
is. It's
Dalen.
Daily.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice job. I actually forgot.
How do you get a name that close to right, like reaching that far back? Like, I say something and you reply with the wrong name.
He's never gonna have a right
Have we
name.
not
He's
been
going to have an
playing for 3
adjacent
years?
name.
Yeah.
Have we not been playing for 3 years? The name is not my strong suit.
Longer than that, man. 5. Close to 5.
He may have not told me his real name, but he did tell me stories of his home and about the Emerald Dragon. He once told me of his brother, but I still didn't pry. I know he's had some hardships in his past. We all have. But we accepted him regardless. Because we did truly care for Valen and still do. We may not be on the same side of things, but everyone here wants nothing more than to make sure Valen's safe.
Person who didn't like Valen. And kind of nod to the file. Take a look.
She does. And she takes a moment and several moments in uncomfortable silence reading through.
His very clinical opinion of her.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And the Valen
And the
relationship.
well, I don't like the dog.
She so she reads through the notes for several minutes. You know, and then she gets like kind of to the last page and just sort of stops, and you know, you can't see any expression through the helm or anything. This seems to be his handwriting, but more importantly, his style. He told me that Valen's presence was good for me. Have you anything else to say?
Nothing more than we will keep our ears to the ground and search for Valen. I don't know how we would get the information to you, but I'm sure we can find a way. And we will let you know any
have to tell us, though. Where was the last place he was with you?
We had made camp about a day out from a visit to Tilden. He disappeared and I looked for days. I have not stopped looking. All of my fingers know to look for him.
Maybe you should take a closer look at Tiltman's manor and underneath of it. And if what you find there leads you to have any mistrust in us or in your leaders, come find us. I'm not saying that your ideals and that your leadership is wrong or bad, but I can tell you that if you don't like what you see there, you should have a hard, long look at Arizea.
If there is something to be found at his manor, I will find it. And if you are lying, I will find you.
I would expect nothing less.
She still maintains kind of a strange silence.
Has her body, like her posture changed, her body language? Is it like, does she feel look a little bit more like slumped or anything like that? Or does she still keep maintaining that like...
Roll an insight check.
Man, I can't trust anything tonight.
No, not read thoughts. No, we should leave you to
10.
your thoughts. That's what we should tell her. Get the
10.
fuck out of here.
10.
Yep.
No, I mean, it's hard to tell. Yeah, with a 10, it's real, especially with the plate and everything, and she carries herself very intentionally.
Yep.
She looks up finally at you and says, "No one has ever felt my mercy twice." And she turns to Zenoa. And the sword that's still drawn, like it wasn't, she hasn't threatened it yet, but she never put it back either. She looks at you and says, "This is the sword of memory. It retains memories from those it kills. And that manifests in power. it takes a lot of work and bonding to master this sword. In doing so requires the wielder to take on memories and burdens of those that I kill. Each kill weighs on me, making it impossible for me to kill lightly. I am not a monster. She sheathes the sword, like snaps the book shut and sticks it in her belt and walks off into the woods.
I sit. I just flop sit.
Alright, with that, we're going to take a break.
Oh man, I haven't sweat this hard in a long time.
I was like,
Yeah.
bumhole was clenched.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing to say.
I mean, I don't like her, but if we can turn her against Arizea, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
I like her.
I just want to point that raise.
Yeah. Like,
Exactly.
can I turn
Go
that?
that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I take a short rest or no? Or what, were we able to get
let's,
to?
let's go ahead and go on break.
Okay,
We're gonna take a long
Never
rest
mind.
right now.
So we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Alright, welcome back.
You're on your now.
A bit of good break. So, the Ruby Judge has departed. You guys are basically sit down or whatever you're doing. What are you doing?
Let's just go ahead and get back.
Was
We're
our,
asleep.
was our conversation long enough for a short rest? No.
I would
No,
rather
and plus
just,
I would
I would
guess
rather
that
get
was
back.
anything but restful.
No,
Yeah.
I would rather get back to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's-
I just
we can-
thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Alright, so we'll head back.
Yep.
Okay.
Retrace my footsteps.
So let's see. That's gonna put you back. Probably around 2 in the afternoon or so. To meet up with Asura. So yeah, you would get a short rest, Asura.
Taking the full advantage of that.
And I'm guessing you would use ascending to make contact with her and try to.
I
figure out where you are.
guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other way I can think of that you would reunite. So.
That's true.
So just mark it off, and we can say.
Okay.
For the sake of time, that you worked it out and
Yeah.
indicated, an abandoned farm that seems to be empty, and you set up in the house and the farms and everything like that of a long abandoned farmstead, where you set up all the kind of injured people everywhere, and just kind of sit tight. As the rest of you make your way, slogging, feeling like 1,000 pounds on your shoulders, your feet killing you, everything killing you, pain in your phantom arm throbbing constantly.
Oh man.
Well, it's severely painful. I mean, there's been no painkiller. There's been nothing. It is a severed limb, and so it is an extremely painful injury. But you eventually find yourselves reunited as you guys make your way into the barn, where you find Asura and most of the rest of the caravan.
You'll mostly find me kind of hovering around Resham a little bit because I don't know what to do, and periodically trying to help Ether not be in this anxious state because he's still a big dragon boy, and so I can't speak Draconic to him, but I just keep trying to use very soothing words and just soothing tone and try to be very calm to him
Yeah.
because I don't know what else to do for him.
You do get the impression that he more or less understands you. So, and by this time, he never leaves Resham's side, but he just kind of curls up and is watchful still, but resting. As there's been no change in Resham.
I see you trying to communicate with him, and I pull out the Ring of the Linguist and it's like, you can sit with this for a bit and you'll actually be able to communicate with him if you like.
I snatched that up so fast.
Because you have to attune to it.
Yeah, I'm taking off my diadem
Okay.
and I put the ring on and I'll sit and I'll attune to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want.
While she's doing that, how long since the raid has it been?
So the raid, I'm saying probably you guys left probably around 2 in the morning.
It's been about 12
you
hours.
escaped, yeah.
Okay. Then, while she's singing and tuning, I would like to pull out my notebook and message Adris.
Okay.
And how many people do we have?
I'm trying to remember what I said last
You
time.
said it was
I'm
like
gonna-
30, 40?
I think it was, we'll say 40, I think
Okay.
it was.
Then I will message him and let him know that we're with we're with 40 survivors, including Resham, and that we are. I'll roughly try to give him our location
Okay.
and ask if he has any further instructions or a meetup point.
All right. So you get a reply back of, "You're alive." That's good news. There hasn't been much of that. Make contact with me again in 2 hours and I'll find a way to meet.
Understood. We have much to talk about. We made a run-in with the Ruby Judge, and we are very, very lucky to be alive.
All right.
And I'll relay to you guys that I reported in, and we're going to make contact shortly with hopefully a backup destination.
Yeah, we should be very careful because I don't know if we're still bound by that orb thing, so.
Are we, and would we know that? Like, because we did fulfill the promise.
Yeah, you did fulfill the promise. It wasn't really mentioned or discussed, so you don't really know what it was or how it works. So, like, you fulfilled the deal,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
but that's all you know.
Do you have any way to sense if we still have those threads on us?
Could I...
Do you have a detect magic, maybe?
I don't have detect magic. I have, like, identify, but it's not like a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
The language that was on the books inside of Lord Vampire Boy's Endwick's no Tildwin's shit. What language was his stuff in?
Mostly common.
I thought there was also documentation that had been in a language that I didn't read.
Do you remember which document?
No, I'm sorry. Never mind. Because I get 2 languages. I can change them every day, basically. I'll worry about the second language later. I immediately have Draconic as a language in my arsenal.
You just have to hear it. I think all you have to do is
I hear it or read it.
or read it. Okay.
Okay.
And I have
Just become
heard
proficient.
Draconic spoken,
Yes.
and I have read many I've seen many languages that I couldn't read.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Before the draconic thing, though, I do look to everyone who's very weary. So how? Obviously, you're back, so it went well enough.
Good way to say it. Yep.
What the? Why is she? What? Huh?
That is the appropriate response.
She wants to know where Valen is.
Why?
Their family.
Bunsen.
What's that?
On the document.
Yeah.
That's his sister. Bunsen.
She said we didn't know his real name.
That would explain a lot.
We don't know Valen's real name well. He's said his real name before. Once.
Yeah, he was using it as a fake name. I remember.
And I didn't think much of it. But he called himself Bunsen.
Well, that would explain why he left her. And why she's so dead set on finding him.
When did he leave her? Because it does not explain why he would leave her.
45 days ago.
47.
47. And the problem is,
They were a day out from Tildwin's when he disappeared.
She said they were gonna go visit him.
That they were going to, or that they already had.
they
I
were
think they
going
were
to.
going to.
Mm-hmm.
They had. It was a day after.
Oh.
They visited him.
Oh,
okay.
excuse me.
So a day after meeting him, he disappeared.
He made a note that Valen was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
He told her that Valen wasn't good for her.
We left her with a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
And we told her to find the answers at Tildwin's Palace.
If there's anything left to find.
If she digs deep enough, I'm sure she'll find something. At least enough to maybe sow some doubts. And I told her that if she has any, that she needs to take her focus to Anson, or what is his name? The wizard guy?
Arizea.
Arizea.
We also need to prepare for if there's nothing there that she finds and she comes looking for us.
Yeah.
But that might be a tomorrow problem. We had our own immediate stuff to deal with here.
He wouldn't have left her.
That's what she said.
She was right. He had been looking for her forever. She was gone one day. He didn't know where she went. She was in his mind every second of every day. And I had made a promise to him long ago that I would help him find her.
Well, it looks like now we might be helping her find him.
Or what's left of him.
She seems confused and misguided. But I don't believe that
She seems resolute
yeah.
and believes in what she's saying.
Well, being a fanatic can lead you to do scary things.
It sounded like Valen was trying to persuade her otherwise from what she was saying.
I don't know if it's possible, but,
It is.
well, I mean, to turn her against...
It is. The way she acted at the end, she didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell. It was just like the princess.
Someone
Yeah.
has been lied to and manipulated.
It's the same thing.
I mean, if we could get her to turn and help the rebellion, it would be a game changer, to say the least. But that's a big ask and a big maybe, and could backfire in a big, big way.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think she needs to figure this out in her own time.
Hopefully she does.
Well, we found out why maybe Valen didn't answer me because he couldn't answer me. Now that they're not together, I don't know, I could try to reach out.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want me to say
yeah,
in
just
particular?
ask him where he is.
Tell me.
That I found his sister at the end of her sword. But I'm okay. For now.
Cast. Make sure I've got the spell slots.
No,
Hold on,
that's it.
I don't want to promise
Yeah, I was
something.
like,
else.
I mean,
I
y'all
do.
were all like
All right, I do,
wrecked
okay.
at this point.
I do. One spell to do it. Okay. Cast Sending to Valen.
And then the
Bugs.
villain comes in and dispels it right away.
Dang.
Nope.
You can't do that.
Valen? It's been a while. Where are you? What happened? Sarah said she found your sister. Please. Please answer me.
So as you release the magic, when you had sent sending in the effort since he disappeared before, you felt the magic go out from you and then like disappear, like fizzle out, like just dissipate, right? This time it feels repelled, like to the degree of like you're like like you don't kind of have to shake your head of like the profound power that you just ran into repelling this magic.
I don't like that.
Don't like physically.
I do.
Are you okay?
Felt like he or something was keeping me out, pushing me away.
Was it like before when you tried to message him?
No. It was like it just kind of died off. Like it didn't even reach him, but
Because of her.
Does it feel like it prevented you from getting to him? Like just.
Like there's some
Send
sort
it
of
back.
active, like, dunk?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
yeah,
the word.
like I hit a wall.
I did not know Valen to be able to do this. Unless he has learned skills since departing.
Either way, that means he's not dead.
But it could be worse than.
So would that mean that like I know that like maybe he didn't even hear it? Like,
Yeah,
he
you would
he
know
didn't
it
hear
didn't connect
Okay.
at all.
But it could be worse then.
Well, I mean, he could be imprisoned. He could be.
With Arizea.
I don't think he's
Yeah, but
dead. That's what we were
But I
worried
would
about,
rather
too.
him dead than in the hands of Arizea.
I wouldn't.
No.
You know what Arizea makes.
I do, but that means we still have a chance to save him.
We've not saved a single butterfly yet.
Can't be serious. If that's true, should we just give up now?
I'm not giving up.
If we knew...
I am preparing my soul to know pain beyond death.
But with what we found out tonight, I feared the worst and that Enwick had already taken him.
You guys said that you saw Belladonna's dreams, or saw her in your dreams, and what she went through.
I watched her and her brother brutalized for the sake of power.
That's what Balance could be going through.
Yeah. Don't worry, his face is already plastered in my mind.
Yeah.
But that also means that we still have a chance to save him.
He's strong. If that's true, he's already endured it for, what, 47 days?
We don't know. I don't want to make assumptions. Because it could have been Enwick that kidnapped him and gave him to Arizea. We don't know how long that took. We don't know how long. We don't even know if he's being tortured or manipulated. It's all speculation. The only thing we know for sure is that he's not dead. And I don't want to let our imaginations go wild trying to wonder. It's not good for any of us.
One problem at a time. Right now we have information that seems to point that he's not dead. So that's something we'll have to deal with at another time.
Okay.
Right now, let's get rested up.
Were you
That's-
able...
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
I know you didn't get a good chance to look at him, but did you figure out what was wrong with Ashton?
Yes. It was just his mind. I can help him in the morning.
It's the afternoon. I don't know if we're safe to sleep here.
For now we are. We've got a rotation going.
Maybe for a few hours.
Sleep now. Get
Mhm.
whatever sleep you can.
I'll take first watch. You guys get rest.
No, Adris wants me to contact him in like 2 hours. We have enough time to take a little rest, but let's see what he says, because we don't know how much of the rebel army is still out there, or the people's army is still out there. We don't know anything.
I know, but we need to rest as best we can.
Agreed. I just don't know if we're in a place where we can wait 8 hours.
Well, then let's
This
just
was the
wait.
safest place I could find.
And I'm grateful for it, and I think that we should rest, but I'll stay up and I'll talk to Adris and see what he says.
We'll figure it out in 2 hours
Yeah.
after we talk to Adris. That's fine.
But for now, let's definitely
Yeah, everybody just
take a rest.
I'm gonna
So
go
you
back
guys-
over to Ether with my newfound ring on.
Okay.
Did we get any healers with us as far as injured people? I mean, not like full blown clerics, but like nurses or whatever.
Yeah, also if
Um,
I can use like...
Yeah, not
my-
healers, just there are a few people who worked with Lenora who were not magical.
Okay.
I'll try to... I'm going to give myself proficiency with my herbalism kit
Mhm.
to try to like make like some sort of balm for you. There's like a...
It's just
painkiller.
good because I want to go talk to the people and see if anybody has like whiskey
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah. They're able to, like,
Like, I
one
don't
of them
care if
has
it's
like a
the
little
medical
kit, maybe,
alcohol.
you know,
Yeah. Oh,
was
okay.
able to kind of disinfect it a little bit and give you a little bit better treatment. They're extremely limited in what they have, what they're able to
I
grab on
figured.
the way out, but
I hand you the cleaning orb.
Yeah, and I touch it and I clean
just
off.
to quite
That's
literally,
not a bad idea.
Yeah.
just to like
Yeah.
remove
Yeah.
as much
Same
potential. Yeah.
I'm also going to, since we have 10 minutes at least, I'm going to just do prayer of healing for us.
Is there any,
Okay.
is there any wine or anything in that bag?
We don't have any alcohol in the bag.
So 17 points of healing to
Don't have
everybody.
painkillers either.
I'm almost back at the full.
Okay.
Don't put it on me.
17.
Put it on somebody else.
No,
'cause
it's prayer. I mean, it's for. You don't. You're good.
I took a short rest. I'm at full health.
Okay, then I'll give it to a random.
17.
It's up
Yeah.
to 6 people, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna walk around and
Anthros reaches into her bag and pulls out a bottle of wine.
Thank you. I'm just gonna.
Listen,
chug
the
about
sword
half
doesn't
of it
really
and
Yeah, I'm
drink,
then-
tending to his.
Then I'm gonna
his
sit down for a
phantom
short rest.
limb. Yeah.
And I will take a short rest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually take a
Yeah,
short
so
rest.
anybody wants to take a short rest?
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
quick?
Yes.
I'm actually going to go up to Ether because he's been kind of curled up,
What did I say? 17.
Yep, 17.
and I kind of bow to him a little bit.
Use half my advice.
Ether, do you understand me?
You see him like raise his head up and kind of cock it, and you can speak my language now.
With assistance.
I see. What is wrong with him?
Something is wrong with his mind. I do not fully understand. I am not equipped with that type of magic, but my friend thinks that she might be able to help him after she gets some much needed rest to regain her magical strength.
I see.
For now, we are just trying to make sure he stays stable.
I see. He is strong.
He is.
He is of dragon's blood. He will survive.
And he has you to keep him safe.
And I will.
I like him very much. I think you know, yes.
Yes.
And I'm very bold in my question, but can I sit with you?
Yes.
Thank you. And I just like plop down and I just like lean on him and like kind of like exhaustion, kind of like cry a little. Just like out of like pure exhaustion.
Which he allowed.
Thank you. Like you just watch her just go kaboom and like crumple.
I get my spells back when I'm like
And so as we,
I'll get myself. I'm back up to full everything, basically.
as you do, and as you're kind of falling into a little bit of a nap and everything like that, you just hear him softly say, I could tell he was saddened when you were away. But you will be together again soon.
I love Ether so much.
So, you guys rest up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually you make contact with Adris and figure out, he directs you to a place a short distance away from the farm to have a conversation before he comes and sees everybody else. So, are all of you going to meet him, or?
Yeah, I mean, I will.
You definitely gotta go.
Yeah.
You're
The original.
the home team.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so
You said you're just meeting up for him to come join the rest of us?
no, just to have a
I think I'm gonna stay with the sickies.
right.
I'll stay
Okay.
too.
Just two of us then.
Alright, we'll go.
Do you want Enthers to stay or with you?
I send Anthos with them.
Yeah. Yeah, might as well.
Not bad call.
Okay. So the three of you make your way off into the woods, and eventually you find yourself at the edge of the woods as it opens out into a pasture beyond, and you see there Adris, just kind of standing with his black cloak and with Alanya next to him. As you reach out, you reach him. He says, "It's good that you made it."
Almost didn't. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I show him my stub.
I'm sorry, my friend.
I mean, I'd ask you what happened, but we already know. We ran into the traitor on our way out of the village. Did we know her name? I know we recognized her.
You didn't.
No.
Did you?
Nope. Didn't get her name. But I do bring out her hands with the monarch butterflies on them.
I'll do a minor illusion because I can't draw, to show her.
Not with that hand, you're not.
Yeah, to show him the face of the traitor.
Autissa was her name.
Yeah.
She was one of the turncoats who brought Talon in from the aviary. They've tried so many times before to infiltrate us, but we've been able to figure it out, but I missed this one.
So I don't know what information she was privy to, but I don't recommend that we regroup anywhere that she would have known about.
I don't think there's going to be any regrouping.
How bad was it?
We're still trying to find everyone, but our best guess right now is the majority either killed or captured. I would guess 1 out of 10 might be free.
What about the council members?
They were not present.
Well, not the bad guy council, but like I forget what he calls his inner circle with like our instructors and stuff.
Our Khan is unaccounted for, as is Lenora and Cebu. Caladris fell fighting the Hydra. Drail is alive, but gravely injured. I haven't seen Resham.
We have Resham, but he's not well, and he seems to be beyond our ability to help. He's
Maybe.
We don't know. We just know that he's. I mean, it was evident he took head trauma, right?
More like his brains have been scrambled.
Yeah, she knows there's some sort of like magical curse on him, basically.
Yeah, and I'll relate that. Like, there's something going on with his head.
All right.
So, do we just tell the people that we saved to scatter?
Everything I've built has fallen apart in one fell swoop. You know, I was once like you, traveling around, stronger, doing good, making a family. Drail, Rin, Arizea, Trill, Ashril, Poppet. Everything fell apart between us, and I've made new friends, some of whom are very precious to me, but still. Here at the end, it's them I find myself thinking about.
Well,
It's them I'm missing.
we do know a few of your old friends. We call them friends still.
You know, it's a funny thing about power. It changes you, it changes your mind. You get so powerful and so successful, you can't help but to start to believe that you can't lose. And the more powerful you get, the fewer there are who can truly threaten you. Oh, you know there are powerful beings out there. You know you're far from the only powerful person in the world. But still, deep down, you can't help but start to feel invincible. We all end up fools in the end. We're all weak when it comes right down to it. And by that time, everything has changed. Yeah, I used to tell a lot of jokes. Banter was my first language. Laughter was a regular part of my world. In fact, when I was younger, it was nearly impossible to get me to take anything seriously. I suppose that's part of why I had to leave. I had to let my brother take over the family. I've felt a lot of emotions over the past few years, but few of them were truly good. And now, all I feel is rage. The rebellion is dead, but I am not. And I am going to kill the king. It's the last thing I can do to give our people hope.
I don't think the king is your problem.
Well, and that's where you come in. There's one more thing that you can do. One last mission from me. The court wizard. There are few people in this world who have failed to disappoint me, but you are among them.
I was thinking the same thing.
Thank you for all you've done.
Thank you.
I lost many possessions in that exodus. I imagine you're the same, and I've been told you're quite fond of your accommodations that I imagine you didn't take with you.
It's a little rushed, so yeah, I got left behind.
So, here. And he holds out a vial.
Okay.
And pour that out on the ground at night. It will refill again at dusk the following day. It's not much, but it should help.
Thank you. Need a little bit of help.
What did I just get? I will not wipe your name from my book. for quite some time. The rebellion may be dead, but our goals are not. We can still do this. We can still free this country.
When this mission is done, do wipe my name from the book.
I will.
And as far as the friends you mentioned, have you ever been to Targonia?
Is that where we go?
Well, that's where Valen's family's from.
Yep.
Oh. I have not.
No.
The scale of the Empire is incredible. When I was there, we saw the immense aqueduct system they had built in the vast farmlands in the south. It's truly a marvel of engineering. Massive amounts of water, like man-made rivers with tremendous currents carrying water to all parts of the farmlands to feed the Empire. And while we were there, there was a time when they needed to make some repairs to a certain section. And so they closed off one of the aqueducts further up, just before it branched between two. On one side, a crew of 100 men had begun conducting the repairs. However, the gate that was closing off the aqueduct began to break. Now, they had an opportunity to close off a different gate to redirect the water to the other branch and protect the workers. But when they looked, they saw that a group of about a dozen small children were playing down in the mud. The engineer had to make a choice. Kill all the men repairing or kill a smaller number of children. And that's a true story. Arizea would have chosen to save the workers. She wouldn't even hesitate.
I'm aware.
I just wanted you to know who you're working for.
I have no illusions.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also why we are in the field. Because our mutual friends, we realize how important their mission and their goal is. But we don't want to leave it to them to fulfill it. And that's why we all decided to help, because we're hoping to mitigate a lot of that damage. We came here for a mission from our friends, and we joined your group. Not by their order, but by our own. No, it wasn't.
It was firmly suggested.
So, just know that we are trying to right the wrongs of this world. I just don't know how much more we can give.
We all have limits.
Mm-hmm.
There's a moment of silence, and I think Inthrus would interject and say, So the engineer who had to choose, what did he choose? And he just kind of looked at her for a moment and said, he panicked. He chose neither, and the water came and killed them all.
Best not to panic then.
I bet that engineer spent the rest of his life trying to make up for that deed.
I will kill the king. You kill the wizard. With that and General Cray, perhaps we can give them a chance at least.
Do you have any information on the wizard?
Only that he is full of tricks and very powerful. He is very reclusive and has been very difficult. However, I do have information that there's a way, a supply entrance
To the capital or to his tower?
to his keep.
Which is located in the major town, right? The major city?
In the city of Unity.
Yeah.
We've just got to get into the city.
Where we're all very, very high criminals. Well,
Semantics.
so if we can get into the city, we may be able to get into his keep. The question is, how do we know he's going to be there? Because the most information we could get while we were in the city is that if he is ever in the city, he's in his keep. And nobody knows when he comes and goes or for how long.
He doesn't seem to leave very often. And understand from their perspective, they've now broken the rebellion. They are stronger than they've ever been from their perspective, and that's honestly true.
It's also dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Something we might be able to exploit.
You'll be there.
Okay. Do you have a timeline? Because I do think this would be best executed at the same time.
It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
But we also shouldn't wait.
How far away from the city are we?
At this point, yeah, you were only, I believe you were a day, 2 days, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 days out, and you've traveled out west about another half day. We'll just say 2 days from here
2 days
to
from
the
here.
city.
How does the 5th day sound?
All right.
Well, we should be able to get near position by then.
Well, you have a way to contact me. I will go separately and make my own preparations for the Hall of Champions.
What do I tell all of your people?
Tell them I'll make preparations for someone else to... I will make sure word spreads as much as possible to get in contact with Bridgian Shadak. She would be the one to help with the remnant in this transition period. But regardless of the outcome of this mission, tell them I died, giving them this opportunity.
That's fine, but we might need a more immediate solution, because I can tell you now that one of our members is probably not going to want to leave Resham in the state that he's in without knowing that he's safe. So unless you have someone to hand the reins over to for that group, I don't think we can leave immediately.
It would have been Lenora.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping she'd be able to help me too, but it sounds like that's not the case.
I think Resham would be a good substitute.
I agree, but he's in no state. And one of our members cares for him very much. And I don't think she'll want to leave his side while he's in that condition, unless she knows that he's being looked after.
Well, you will have to make the choice then.
Have faith.
Yeah.
So no, we'll be able to do it.
I am going to kill the king in 5 days' time. If you choose not to take care of Arizea, the people will not be able to rise up.
Oh, we have our own matters to settle with him. We'll be there.
Yep.
All right.
What's Alanya been doing this whole time? Just standing back watching?
Yeah, just kind of standing at his side. You know, you would know, like, they've got kind of a special relationship.
Yeah.
She's probably there for his sake. But she's always very hard to read. Like,
Yeah.
She's just very otherworldly in presence, so it's...
Alanya, we might not see each other again. Last time. What are you? Like I got 50 gold right on you being an angel.
It's like a little kid talking to Santa Claus.
Yeah. I mean, stuff I've seen her do.
She smiles and she says, well, I suppose I'm a friend.
Quaker. Would you be a friend to have?
You wouldn't be able to help with this, would you?
No. I'm sorry.
It was worth a shot.
We'll get you there, bud.
It just hurts.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's get back before the others start to worry.
Yeah, you guys stay hidden, stay safe, and we will be in contact in a few days.
I will go visit those survivors with you before I leave. So he does, and the two of them go in with you, and you can see there's a bit of reaction among them of kind of relief of seeing that he's alive and Alanya, and he spends a little bit of time kind of going around talking to people while he's doing that, Alanya goes up to you. And again, in that presence, just that immense self-consciousness is there as she says, "Have they told you what the mission is?"
Not yet.
Well, they will. It's a hard road ahead of you. And if you succeed, I fear your journey will not be any easier. The shadow upon you is nearly gone. And whatever protection it offers will be gone as well. I can offer a way to end it on your own terms. And in doing so, gain knowledge about your past and your nature. Succeed in this mission. Then contact me and I will give you this gift.
How do I contact you?
I think you have friends who know how.
Okay.
She reaches up and just kind of touches your cheek and just, you don't even know how to describe it. It's like emotions you don't have any words for. And she's like, "Be well." And she turns and
Okay.
leaves.
Just flabbergasted. I just don't know how I'm supposed to feel about anything that just happened. I know that she basically tricked me into leaving Resham's side. But that's okay.
She's gotta be some kind of fake creature, right?
Listen, I got a soft spot for any strong woman who touches my face, apparently.
Doesn't take much.
Doesn't listen. Sarah's a weak child. She nice power, feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So she gives each of you a nod and then steps out. And just steps out after her to have probably their own goodbye. And so as Adris finishes his rounds, he he kind of stands at the door with you guys and says, well, although we might talk again, this is in a meaningful way goodbye. I have every faith in all of you to do what must be done.
Just do me one favor. Make sure his daughter's not around to see it happen.
I will do my best.
Thank you.
All right. He turns and goes to walk out the door and then just kind of stops at the frame, and you kind of get the impression he's wrestling with something. And then he turns slightly and he says, you know, Arizea and I were once very close, like family, like you. We used to play cards together, go into a tavern or casino and take it for everything. I was better with my hands, better at strategy, but she would always win because she played the people. In truth, I think it was that lesson that has helped carry me this far. Tell her I miss cheating at cards with her. And then he walks off. And I think that's where we'll end tonight.
I felt that was coming, but I really wanted to ask him to give me a secret on her dresser. Like, make this my reward. Tell me some dirty shit that I can hold over that old bat's head. Like, because I agree.
Oh man.
What are you gonna do? You don't know. I'm so excited to find out.
Listen, that beautiful magic woman just touched my face and said, "You're gonna go with the rest of the group on this mission. If I want to know anything that's going on with me, people keep telling me there's a shadow, but it's not strong anymore. And my mommy may have cast it, and my dad could be a demon or a devil. I don't know."
Yeah, but now you can make the shadow just go away and get all the info.
Sure, but then I won't be protected. There will be no protection
There's us.
against the devil. You fucked up with the devil once.
Yep. We make deals with devils, so.
I mean, turned out alright.
Just had to kill an angel to do it, but it's fine.
So, with that, really 2 encounters with the Rude Judge there.
Oof.
You guys are level 13.
Hey!
Regenerate!
Yes!
Oh, is that a 7th level?
Yeah.
We were looking that up while you were on break.
Like, how long is this gonna have to stay in the ice box?
Come on, you can't even do it. I'm stronger than her.
Oh,
100%.
bring back your ancient dragon and see how.
Yeah.
Yeah, just casually tell that dragon to go fuck itself.
Yeah.
I love that she literally basically walked up and was like, "Hey, let's not." That dragon was like, "You're right."
Are you sure this is
Dragon was
what you want to do?
Like, that to me is the most terrifying thing. Is that she just casually walks up and goes,
Yeah.
"No."
Did you get it?
I get proficiency
Do
bonus.
this?
New spell.
You defeat a dragon with words. You are the most powerful entity out there.
Level 7.
Oh, well, that was interesting.
Use one.
That's intense.
Yeah, I have one. My mind.
I have so many big feelings right now.
I was telling Rachel upstairs,
So
like
it's-
on our
but that
break,
was a
I was
6th level.
like,
So basically, I'll
they
get
came
a 7th
this
level
close
spell
to TPK.
that I can use
This
once a day.
close.
Listen, it was always going to be self-inflicted.
Yeah.
If we're ever going to
That's my
TPK, it's
7th
going to be
level.
because of our own stupidity.
Uh-huh.
I was like,
Yep.
literally thinking this is the campaign end.
Watching her do that, then watching
Sarah,
her do
like a
that, I'm
dumbass, walks up and gets her ass killed, and then everyone else follows
I honestly
suit.
loved it.
yeah. Oh, it's fun.
And then I hated it.
I mean,
I'm just choosing who I hate at this point.
look, I was having flashbacks of freeing the animals. Except this time, you did it, and I was going with you.
Yeah.
I owed you that.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
That's true.
What, I'm disappointed because you had the people with no charisma trying to make charisma checks to.
Look, man, because I knew how the venom that was going to come out of my mouth, and I was like, I'm gonna wait. It did turn out good, but I knew it was going to come.
No, it was
Hey,
great.
learning how to shut up when you need to is character
Uh-huh.
growth. Like, that's
It is character growth. Like, he's getting better. He's getting better, but
Ooh-wee. Okay.
Yep.
So, now you guys got a wizard to kill.
You know,
I mean,
casual.
Like you do.
Just a wizard.
Yeah.
yeah, not just any ordinary wizard, but like the wizard that may be the linchpin of this whole evil Blackfire thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's a big one. It's a really big one.
yeah, this is. We thought old Greenwood was like, you know, like high up
We
on
were
the
so-
food chain.
So young and dumb, and we thought Greenwood was big and scary.
Like, I think we finally made it to, like, somebody in the know. Because everyone we've been killing now, it's just been a mystery. And, like, this is our first baddie that's, like, might have some actual accountability for the things that are going on.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah. Moving on up.
All this responsibility. Ugh.
I don't think he's solely responsible.
No. I don't think so either.
he's-
A big part of it. Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
We're swimming upstream. We're hitting the big fish.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you're getting up there.
I like it. I'm not the fan.
Mm-hmm.
If I had the option, I would say nope, not for me.
Start interacting with you're becoming consequential people in the world, and it's interacting with consequential people.
I don't like
Right,
consequences.
that's 5-day wizard.
All right. Yep. So you guys got some time to kind of think about things and see if you want to make some plans, figure out what you're gonna do, to get in the city, get into the keep, and find Arizea and fight him. So.
All simple stuff, really.
Mm-hmm. Good job. I mean, aside from almost, it was a recovery. You made a recovery.
I'd give you a high five, but if you don't fix my arm,
You can't
those
do
jokes are
that.
never going to end. It is going to be a constant flow.
Oh, I'll be right there with you. How do you get stuck out of a tree? Wave.
Oh.
All right. Well, we will be back next week, and to see how you guys proceed about this and get going to the City of Unity and Arizea's Keep. So we will be back next week. See you then.
Bye.